On the air, episode 161, Slate.
Live from the Loft 100 studios in sunny San Diego, California. It's on the air with Sully, Little Tommy, Mary, the on the air band and this live audience. Guys, thanks for coming. Wow. My goodness. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at you created.
Awesome crowd.
Yeah, we have the folks from the local list,
Localist
here
SD.
shooting for Fox 5, and they were asking us, when did the live studio audience come in? And I remember our first lunch about this thing, 6 years ago. We said, Rusty Nails could warm up the crowd.
Yeah.
There was no crowd for 2 years.
Because of COVID.
Was that what it was?
Yes, that's
original
why we
concept.
wanted audience members, and then all of a sudden they shut everything
Thought we were
down.
not popular.
No, the original
I mean, not
concept. The original concept was having a live audience.
Yeah.
And then that was like at the end of 2019, our vision. And then we started, our first show was March 2020.
Do you remember our first guest? I don't remember the first guest.
At the first studio, I think it was
Dave
Records.
With
Yeah,
Chainsaw and Lauren Finney.
yeah, Chainsaw. That's right.
That studio was basically in the back of the Kmart in Mira Mesa.
It was
we just snuck back.
teeny tiny.
It was not like this.
It was
thing.
the size of this corner back
You know
there.
what
Now look at us.
Oh, but you know what the original idea was? I remember you and I talking. So, we're radio guys in San Diego. And radio guys have an audience, built-in audience. So we should interview other radio guys that have an audience and tell them to watch. It's a license to steal. And that's what we did. We started interviewing Dave Rickards and the guys from the show and Vortex personalities. And next thing you know, you suckers are here in the middle of 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. So it's great to have you. We give the live audience a big hug.
Yes.
They can email me.
Yeah.
Get here.
So how do you get that? How do you
Email us at audience@loft100studios.com. And then we email you back and we get you in, and it's a lot of fun, right, you guys?
I'm looking forward.
Wait a second. One last piece of business.
Yeah.
I also love to feature small business on the show.
Yes.
Okay. And we really like to feature businesses that serve food.
I was going to say, as long as they bring food.
No, but I want to make it like every show, maybe the last segment, so I don't have to sing, that we maybe have a small business.
We have
So
someone
if
special
you've got a
coming
small
today.
business, why don't they email you too?
Yes, they can email us.
And you can have all the swag before it even gets to us.
That's right. We've got someone special coming in today.
Today we have Karl Strauss Brewery bringing in.
Oh, no kidding.
Bring in some wings for y'all.
Yeah.
Hey.
And talk about.
And we're going to bring tequila and beer.
It may or may or not have been the first time or that. We have radio royalty today.
Yeah. Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to bring them out.
Let's do it.
Matter of fact, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Florida, the former Little Miss Florida Citrus, radio legend, Delana Bennett.
There she is. Delana, if you hear Delana talk, you realize that, that's the lady that talks in all the commercials. Yeah. I hear your voice 24/7 in this town.
Yeah, it's all over the place now.
Oh my God, San Diego.
San Diego County Credit Union.
CCU, Valley View, you name it.
Is that what you
So relaxing. You need to do one of those Spotify, lull you to sleep.
the ASMR?
How about the Siri
Make some
thing?
extra cash that
Yes,
week, couldn't I?
there you
Is the
go.
Siri thing like
Side
the Super
hustle.
Bowl for you?
Sorry?
Like if you're the voice of Siri, is that the Super Bowl? Is that your aim?
Absolutely. You know what I'd love to do, though? I'd love to do an award show. Like if I could do the
Yes.
Grammys or if I could do the Oscars or something like that, that would be
Did you start off in
ultimate.
voice or did you start off in radio?
I started in TV, believe it or not. Yeah.
Doing
Like
what?
in high school, I had my own TV show.
Of course you did.
In
like
Florida.
yeah, in Florida.
Like a variety
Well,
show
hey,
or an interview show?
It was an interview show, and then I started doing radio in college. Thought I'd go to law school. Got into law school at University of Miami, but I was enjoying radio so much that I stuck with it. So
Well, it's not a surprising story because I'm here to tell you that Delana is one of the smartest business people I've ever met.
oh, thanks for that, Sully.
She is one of the few billionaires in San Diego.
That's a lie. That is a lie. You can send
did do
me.
it right. You did do it right because I always hear you talking to Sully about, hey, what should I buy?
Well, okay.
And of course, say, "Don't ask me."
So look, radio. When I started in radio, everybody told me, "Hey, this may not last very long," and so I thought, you know what? I better plan for the future. And yeah, so I love business. I love
You
investments. I
did
love that
real
kind of
estate.
stuff.
You did equities. The whole thing.
I still do. Yeah.
And you're from the era, the '90s in radio, where people were making.
You mean like
obscene.
you? Like you?
No, like you
You?
and Jeff and Jer, not me.
You ask everybody. In
Yeah,
the,
what do you think?
you ask everybody how
did
much
you
money
make?
they have. What was your biggest year? Don't. I know what it was. Just, you better say it. You say anything under $750,000,
Got
you're
really
fired.
quiet in here. all of a
But
sudden.
Delana, you were on the Jeff and Jerry show.
I was. I
And then,
was.
And then we got blown out in 2009 from Star 94.1.
Right.
They blew everyone out except you. And look at you now.
And you went to
Yeah.
Kogo? You come back?
No, I stayed at Star. I stayed at
that's
Star.
right, you guys were
So they offered me a lot of money to stay, and
Well, they saved all that Jeff and Jer money.
and Mama needed to pay the mortgage and buy some shoes, so I did not leave with you guys. I stayed with Star.
And that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Look
but
at you.
but you know it sucks because they never thought I was very loyal. So
Wait, who?
But you know what? Radio.
No, I'm kidding.
You can't
we were
name
together
anybody
3
in
years.
radio
3 years.
that hasn't been fired a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
I've been fired at least twice.
And I was fired twice too, but everybody else got fired 18 times. So the point is, it's part of the business. And by the way, they tell you Friday morning, this is your last day, and you can't come on the air and announce it. It's just an odd business.
Yeah,
And did you see it coming?
Sometimes, one time I did, just because I didn't get along with the boss very well. And they come and get you, and you're like, this is the person from HR. And then they walk you out with a box.
Bring your
They've
playbook.
already collected your stuff, and they walk you
Wait
out
a
with a
minute.
security guard. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Do I look like somebody that's going to tear up the studio? Or
I can tell you.
Did they escort you out with the FBI?
Well, it was August 2009.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
It was August 2009. The Jeff and
The
Jerry
year
showground.
was August 2009.
The Jeff and Jerry showground.
Ignoring the jeers of the other radio stations, the Jeff and Jer show.
With Delana, it was 10 o'clock. And then I ran out of the studio first because I think it was a Friday. So I go, and then a guy named Jimmy Steele, our boss, was waiting for me at the steps. And he goes, Tommy, I need to talk to you guys.
So bring your playbook.
And I go, what do you mean? He goes, I need to talk to all of you in my office. And then I go back into the studio and I go, hey, we're getting blown out.
Do you think it was a raise at first?
No.
I mean, you were Jeff and Jer.
No, I thought we were, I knew we were getting
So
blown out.
all of you all were together then, all in the
Yeah,
room,
but
at the same time. Wow.
the ones that got blown out were all together. And then we left.
Did they silo Delana? So it was sort of a clandestine, sort of inside deal?
You had to have known.
no. Well, here's the thing. I
knew.
knew
You knew.
that you guys.
Wait a second. You met at the Tickled Trout like every other radio contract was done.
I knew you guys didn't have anywhere to go. And
We were on the beach for 18 months.
yeah, and so
You
back,
lived on
back
the beach. It
to
was a
Mama
bit-
needed to pay the mortgage. I'm like, well, love you guys, but
Can I say that? So also on Jeff and Jer was Mary Bird Godwin. I didn't know this until last week.
Oh yes,
she was
I
a
did
regular.
have a stint on. I was frequently hit upon Mary in my 20s.
That was your character?
That was my character, and you set me up on Tommy. Set me up. He did not vet these.
Do you
He doesn't
remember
remember this.
You remember this?
He did not vet these fellas that called in, and the gig was that I would go on dates with them, and then I would come back the next morning and report their dating
Oh, wow.
skills. Because there was an article in the
There's
paper.
a word for that, Mary.
This was Tommy's fault, okay? It was my 20s.
There's a word
you
for
know?
that too.
That's funny.
It
All right.
rhymes with imp.
Hey, we have more radio royalty
All right,
to
go.
introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, originally from Los Angeles, California, she's a legend in San Diego. From Channel 933's Gina the Latina and Frankie V Morning Show, give it up for Gina the Latina.
You know what's weird about morning radio?
what?
You know, there's 3 stations represented here among all of, actually 4, and you go through the hallways and you kind of recognize people, but you never really do what they did because that place, we were all there at the same time. We're on commercial breaks at the same time, and it looked like a mausoleum. Remember how much fun we thought we were going to have when we moved to the new building back in the day? And it looks like a hospital. In fact, right now it looks like an empty hospital.
But I want to congratulate Gina. Gina, you haven't been at Channel 933 for a year. You haven't been there for 5 or 10 or 15. You've been there for 19 years.
Yes, this year will
Awesome.
be 19 years.
Did you start on it, or did you start in promotions, or how'd the whole thing go?
You were originally Boy Toy Jesse, right?
No. I was originally
No,
Boy
Jesse
Toy
was
Jesse.
Boy-
I was Boy Toy Jesse. In San Diego, I was on air, but I started in promotions at Kiss FM in Los Angeles. And then I moved down here.
Oh, that little station.
I went from a promotions team to on air here, and I had no clue what I was doing. No clue. I'm surprised I didn't get fired.
That's the whole story of it. You want to be on radio, just get in the building.
Yes.
Wait a minute,
absolutely.
get in the building.
Wait a minute. You're born and raised LA, and your first station's Kiss FM?
Yes.
Wow.
That's,
I mean,
that's the
that's-
number 2
Yes.
station in the country,
Epic.
right?
How'd you get that job?
That's a long story, but I always say like I manifested it because when I was a junior in high school, Kiss FM set up their little tent at the McDonald's by my house, and I said, you know what, I want to work there one day. So I just went up to them and asked, how do you work here? And then they explained at the time, you intern first, and then you keep moving up. And so when I was in college, one of my friends was working for Gary Spears, who was radio on air, and he wanted to quit, but Gary wouldn't let him quit unless he found a replacement. So he just said, hey, do you want to start? And I started the next day.
It's perfect.
As an
That's how it
intern.
works.
As an intern.
So, how do you go from being the guy that puts up the banners
Yes.
and presents the snacks and you're giving $5 Subway coupons to now you're on air in San Diego?
While I was once my internship was over, I had made friends with everybody. I always say make friends with everybody. I'm always a good job making friends. And the promo director had offered me a job on the street team. Started doing that, made friends with all the jocks, and I was.
And at the time, who were they? Do you remember?
Still JoJo's on the radio, still here. It was Valentine's still there. I
Jesse?
think. No, it was before that. I think Ryan Seacrest. I can't remember now, but
Ryan Seacrest on
I
on
was
the
free
street.
labor because back then they didn't really care about hours or whatever. So I would stay at the radio station like
Yes.
all day long. I was going through personal stuff, so it was kind of my distraction. So I would just tag along, and I ended up like just kind of being a pseudo fake producer and kept moving up from there.
Wow.
Did you start in morning down here in San Diego?
I started in mornings here, yeah.
Do
I
you
went-
realize what the feed is to get on Kiss FM, then go to the 8th largest market in the U.S. and do the morning? I mean,
Well,
that's
she's incredibly talented.
what she is.
Well,
But she makes friends with.
Well, I always say that one of our old bosses, because he did say, like when I started doing kind of red carpet stuff in LA and working on JoJo's show, he did come to me and ask me if I wanted to be on the radio. And at the time, I hadn't really thought about it. It was just more of a fun job. But I told him, yeah, because why not? What else am I doing? I'm getting paid minimum wage as well. But later I asked him, why did you choose me? And he said, because when I saw you working in that room, you were the hardest working person. He said, I could teach anyone to be good on the radio, but I can't teach people to work hard. And that's why he asked me and then started.
Promotion seems like a fun job. That is the hardest job.
So hard. Yeah.
It's so much fun though.
Because everybody in the building's asking you for tickets.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I mean, I remember going past the promotions office, like, it's like Toys R Us. But you guys had so much stuff going on there.
That's
Lots of
also why I
hours.
worked in college though, because I had never even gone to concerts before, and I got to go to all different concerts, and
Oh, yeah.
parties, and radio was a little different then, so it was fun job for me.
Here's a question for both of you because it applies to both of you. How did you last so long, or how are you lasting so long?
Where'd you hide out?
Ooh, that's a good question. Gina and I worked together
I made
for
that
quite
up
some time.
just right now.
We worked together for some time on Star before you went to 933. And I think that's the key, for me at least, is being changeable and flexible.
So I was just gonna say.
Coachable.
Coachable, absolutely. You have to kind of realize that the world is changing. It's changing right now. I mean, with AI,
Well,
we could be replaced
that
at
mean?
any
You just brought up.
moment,
You just brought
know?
radio is different than it was. Remember when Napster came out? We had carts, and now it's a completely digital world.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, a perfect example. If you wanted to listen to a Padre game, you either had Kogo or KSDO if Kogo had something else. You had your transistor or nothing. And suddenly digital comes in and wipes out that business because you can watch it, you can listen to a sports team anywhere now. And I think the radio business had to morph, and that's when they weren't making Tommy money anymore.
I mean, and that's what I agree with, is that you just adjust. Like sometimes I saw some radio DJs say like they didn't want to, they were resisting change.
Right.
I mean, when I started, we didn't have to do social media. Now that's a very big part of our job.
That's a whole big part of both of your feeds
yeah,
are
it
lots
is
of
part of it.
videos and
It is
reels.
part of it.
Yeah, and being open to change and adjusting and understanding what's going on, I think that's really important. Not just in radio, I think in general. I don't want to be that person be like,
How-
oh my
how
God,
long
the
is it-
music was better back then.
But how long's your air shift? How long's your guys' air shift?
I just got off 4 hours.
Four.
And, but there's another 2 of prep, including social media and everything
Yes.
else, right?
Oh, longer.
People think you
Social
guys are
media,
working
it
3
takes
hours a day.
forever.
That's a beast of its own,
Like
right?
social media is a whole other job.
You know what? Too bad you didn't bring your producer to do your social media. Today.
Yeah, she's great. She's here, Angie.
There's Angie.
Give it up for Angie.
I think because
But I
because I was going to bring, you weren't master at it. I'm looking for social media when I'm falling asleep, and I always see your stuff,
well-
and that's a sign that you're getting to everybody.
I also invest in myself, and I think a lot of some radio people don't do that. Like yeah, she's my producer, but I also pay her extra to come with me to film and do that because it just makes my life easier on the side, not through iHeart or anything like that.
You have to edit your own stuff too.
Yeah, or I just pay her to do it. But we can. It's like a combination
Wow,
of
that's
things.
awesome.
But I think it's investing in
It's a
yourself as
full-time-
part of it.
How much time do you guys spend on social media? Like, do you think outside?
Well, can I need to tell you this. I start in the morning because I have shows all over the country. So I have over 40 markets. So I get up in the morning, I do shows, and then I do a little bit of social media, and then I do my afternoon show, but I do social media during the show.
I got out
so
just in time.
I usually have
Yes,
an
you
8 to
did.
10
I
hour work.
dodged a bullet. It was like, do 3 posts a day or you're not getting lunch. That was it. We thought, I gotta do 3 social media, and now you're doing 30 an hour or something.
I mean, on all different platforms, right?
Right.
And then keeping with the trends and everything. And I always like to keep younger people around. I always say that just to so I understand what's going on, and so I know and keeping up with the trends, and I listen to them too. I think a lot of people, like, I don't, like, for example, my producer, she's younger, and if she says that this is cool and do it, then I just, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, every now and then I'll say, no, I'm not gonna do that. But for the most part, like, you gotta listen and you gotta understand.
That's when your younger kids, if you have younger kids, they help out too.
Yes.
So
Well, I want to talk at some point today about the fact that we used to use diaries to tell if we were popular, and they were so wrong.
Yes.
And then we have this digital that we don't have anything for. When are we going to have a measurable metric
Yes.
to decide how much we should get paid?
Yes, Nielsen.
and after the break, we're going to find out from Angie how much Gina pays her. Yes.
Tom is on the air. Good to have you on today. This thing's got- Oh, look at that, right? Yeah, I paid extra for that.
Hey,
We got special guests here.
yeah. Before we bring out our next guest,
We
to
got some
sit
media
here.
We got media here.
She's
We got
probably
real
going to get
people.
mad at us. Let's bring out Ashley Jacobs
Where's
from
Ashley?
the Localist SD.
There she is.
Ashley, come here. Come here.
Come on. Come on.
Yes, I got it. Hi, Ashley.
You're not getting paid for this.
I'm just here to get a video of my friend.
Social
But,
media.
You know, it's
Thanks
just-
for doing all you do for the Localist SD.
Oh my goodness, you're so sweet. Thank you for letting us be part of the show today.
And if you don't know, the Localist SD airs on Fox 5 and KUSI. The times are 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Right?
You're not lying. You're not lying. But the real times are 10 a.m. on Fox 5, 2 p.m. on KUSI, and then every other hour that he just said.
But thanks for being here. And I think we're
Thanks for,
going to...
and thanks for doing a feature on Loft 100. That's
Yeah.
so great.
Oh my gosh, we did 2 segments. So you're going to see all about Loft 100 Studios on 2 upcoming episodes, and those will re-air and re-air and re-air as well.
We love you.
thank you.
Give it up for Ashley Jacobs.
We got to get here again.
Yeah.
You know, the best shows are the ones with you media types, because we don't have to do anything.
I know.
We just sit back and you guys do another
They're
show
all the
after working
charisma.
8 hours already. So-
You
Good for
media
yourself.
types.
So
So let's bring
you're a
out
big media type guy.
the next guest, ladies and gentlemen, 9-time Emmy Award winner, originally from Canada, first Filipina main anchor in San Diego, from Fox 5 San Diego, Maria Arcega Dunn.
Isn't it weird when a celebrity walks in? It's a little diff. We're all kind of like, nothing.
So how did you end up being from Canada, and how did you end up here in San Diego?
You know what? It was a boy. That's how I ended up in San Diego. I had
It's
my son.
always a
It's
boy.
always a boy. My son actually was born here, but I was working as a correspondent for CNN International. I was based in Hong Kong, and I found out I was pregnant and came back to San Diego, which is where the boy was from, and we came here and we had Nicholas. So there you go.
My question was the same I was going to ask you last break, is how things have changed since you started in terms of the digital world. It's a whole different story.
Technology has changed everything that we do.
And it
But-
changed the way we consume it, though, too, which is not necessarily fun for us on this side of the fence because people are consuming it with false information as it's happening.
Well, and see, that's the problem. This is why you have news people, because news people actually vet it.
Yeah.
I know that there are stories about people being fake news and things like that, but the truth is, if you look at your local news stations, they are the ones who are actually looking at the information. They're the ones vetting it. You've had a couple of my colleagues on here before. We spend a lot of time going through everything and making sure it's correct. I have to. I'm the 10 p.m. show, and I have to make sure that the entire day is correct. Any updates that happen, they can happen right when I'm doing it, or
And not just because you want it right, because if you get one thing wrong,
I fall on the sword.
You'll get
I
a
fall on
million
the sword
emails.
for everyone.
How much time do you spend researching it all?
All day. Like, I'm awake at 6 a.m. I already know what's happened overnight. We have notes for that and things like that. But I have to make sure I'm hearing every side of the story.
well, and this is why local news is so important, because we don't have Edward R. Murrows and we don't have
Yeah,
Walter
we got-
Cronkite. Well, not nationally. Local news has that.
Local news is where it's at.
And I think
because-
and I've said as a talk radio guy here in town, because my job was, I'd say things like, does this dress make you look fat? No, your face makes you look fat, and it's starting a fight. That's different than reporting the news. But I think we have a responsibility to do a modicum of research on what we hear, and we don't.
Well, my job
And
is
that's and because of you do it for us.
So my job is to make sure you have both sides, all the information you need to make decisions for your family.
Yeah.
It's not my job to give you my opinion. Yes.
God bless you, because otherwise you're giving.
But I'm old school. I've been in this business for 30 years. I don't play. When it comes to that
I
kind of
don't play.
thing, I don't play.
You know,
Wait a minute.
Doesn't play a real life.
Is it about being
Listen.
first?
The danger is confirmation bias. I believe this way, so I'm going to listen to CNN. I believe this way, so I'm listening to Fox. And they confirm your beliefs, right or wrong, because they're not getting both sides.
And there's a lot of people out there who will say things like, you have the audacity to report that, and from a news source that's this and that. And it's really not about how I feel about anything. It's this is what's happening. My job is to give you the information as it unfolds.
Are you
there
trying
are
to
tragedies.
be first, or are you trying to be right?
I'm trying to be right.
Yes. Thank you.
I don't care about being first.
It's so interesting. I had this conversation last night with a friend, because she said, you did talk. How did you? Because I was always a centrist. Delana was a big part of the production on that, because it was a longer story. But I said the same thing, and I said, how did Walter Cronkite? How do you keep your personal opinions out of something that is so against what you believe in order to get the truth out?
I just give you the information.
Because that's a tough one. It has to be. Does it grind on you?
Well, I mean, I have my opinions on things.
But you don't
But
bring
that's
them in.
nobody's business.
Oh, very good.
That's
What's your
nobody's
opinion?
business.
Hey, I do have a question, and I think
Nanya.
this is a
Nanya.
discrepancy. This is a discrepancy. I'm looking at your resume.
Uh-huh.
You're young, but you've interviewed.
I'm in my 50s.
You were young.
You're young.
Hold on. She's got 35 good summers left,
Exactly.
But wait a minute.
and then 5 bad ones.
Let me say this. You're young, and you've interviewed 5 U.S. presidents.
Yes, I have.
How did that happen?
Well, I've been very lucky. I have to start
I'll
from the
say
beginning.
the first one was lucky, not the last 4. It's because it was you.
It was Truman, Ike.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Nice.
No, it was Bush, Clinton, Obama, Trump,
Carter.
and Carter.
Wow.
Could we?
How?
Which one made you the most nervous?
Yeah. Could we predict?
I don't get nervous.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't get starstruck.
Has
just
anyone
Well,
made you
we don't either.
Maria, I will say I've known Maria for a long time, and she is one of the strongest women I have ever met. She doesn't stay quiet. She will speak her mind, and that's very commendable.
I think as a woman in this business, as you know and as you know, it is not easy, to be heard. And the one thing I tell a lot of the young women in my newsroom is, I want to hear from you. If you see it, make sure they hear you. Make sure that you're saying what you see, what you're hearing, because it counts. It's important.
So, but what about the 800-pound gorilla in the room? Not me. The fact that back in the day, when you passed the ripe old age of 31 or 32, female anchors
we have a 15
were dropped like a tummy tuck on a plus-size model.
That's right.
And these days, that doesn't happen. Now, that's a positive thing now, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's important for
Well, you
people
look
to-
20.
Well, I'll take it.
Because back in the
I'll take it any day.
Because the program director would say it was an optics thing.
Yeah.
We have to be the audience, right? Show the people that are watching.
It's a visual medium, and unfortunately, that's the truth.
Apparently not. Look at me and Tommy. How the hell
Women have a certain amount of time where, whereas men can age gracefully, and we are the tummy tuck.
I would argue we don't do anything gracefully, Tommy, but you guys do. So here we go. Who do we got here? We got Delana. We got Gina. We got Maria. Take it away, boys. Well, we're here for the Loft 100 Studios, and we have broadcast royalty.
Yes.
And a couple of guys that got fired. Actually, I did an Irish accent when another guy came on my show. You'll remember that. On the ears, on the ears. Look at this. I've got a very important announcement.
Yes.
And I don't think anybody's expecting this. Who wants to hear Tommy sing a song?
Hey.
Let's go.
Hold on.
You
Not
weren't
expecting
prepared.
this. Not expecting to do this. I'm not a singer. This song's fast. This song is quick.
So clap
everybody
loudly.
on their feet. Everybody on their feet. Let's do this. Yeah. Everybody on your feet. Girl, to be with you is my favorite thing. Yeah. I can't wait till I see you again. Yeah. I wanna put on my boogie shoes and boogie with you. I wanna put on my boogie shoes and boogie with you. I wanna do it till the sun comes up. Yeah. I wanna do it till I can't get enough. Yeah. I wanna put on my boogie shoes and boogie with you. I wanna put on my boogie shoes and boogie with you. Brian Jordan. I wanna put on my boogie shoes. I wanna put on my boogie shoes. I wanna put on my boogie shoes and boogie with you.
I don't know about you. I think you should do a classic rock song next time. Have you ever sang anything post 1977? Like, I want to see you do Flock of Seagulls or maybe Oingo Boingo next time.
Chapel Roan.
You know what?
Cure.
I may go to the 80s next time.
Really? Yeah,
Have you
go
guys ever
80s.
thought that you're in the music business, that remember we went through the 80s and that was like new wave, right? You had again Flock of Seagulls, you had Oingo Boingo, you had the Police, and the music 40 years prior was like hello my honey, hello.
Yeah.
Those songs that we were 40 years ago.
I know.
It's a whole different,
so weird.
and it still holds up.
Yeah.
Because aren't you spinning the oldies? They're called oldies now, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
That's not even
I gotta be
classic.
That's
honest.
almost 50 years ago.
It really is.
By the way, he
yeah.
was big in the
Classic
80s,
hits.
and now he's big and he's 80.
Yes.
So what is oldies now? Because oldies was the 50s.
Okay.
guys.
Well, for me, I do a classic hits station, you know, in a different
So
city.
give
in
us
the
a couple
What's
songs.
classic hits now?
classic
90s.
hits.
Is that like
Madonna,
No. no.
How does that make you feel?
Elton John, the Cars, you know.
And speaking of
so the
radio,
80s, 90s?
80s, 90s is now considered classic.
So whoever,
That's what we
whoever-
grew up with, though.
So whoever is 80 or 90 now was singing back then.
But wait a minute. Speaking of you and radio,
Yeah.
if you drive cross country,
Yeah.
you can hear you in almost every market, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, technically, you know, if you're driving through, I don't know, Des Moines, Iowa, you could hear me on the radio.
So you're not in the same day part in every, or you are.
No, I'm in different day parts, different.
And you track you track live, or do you track?
I record those shows across the nation in the morning, and then I'm live in the afternoon here in San Diego.
What if you're hungover and you can't get up?
I try not to do that anymore because I'm too old for that. but
Is that the same as syndication? What you
oh yeah, I'm syndicated. Yeah, for sure.
I
But
lead with
it's-
that. You know, babe?
it's-
Babe, I'm syndicated.
But it's just with iHeartRadio. So you know.
You mean the
Oh,
biggest
just-
media?
Just with?
You mean the biggest media entertainment company in the world?
That's right.
I'm syndicated, babe.
I got a question for Gina the Latina.
Yes.
All right, Channel 933, it's been around forever, before you were here. But you're here, you've been on it for 19 years. It's my opinion, you are Channel 933.
You are.
Yeah.
I mean,
you are the
you've
face.
earned
Here, I love it.
Thank you.
Kind of like me and Tommy are not the face of any radio station we were ever on.
But I mean,
It's
seriously,
synonymous.
Seriously,
Thank you.
that's true.
how did you last? I mean, I know I've already asked you that, but it is your station.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't own it, but thank you. I appreciate it. It's really cool when I meet listeners who say like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I used to listen to you like when I was a kid," and then now they're like, it makes me feel not old, just good. I hope I had a good impression on them, and then they'll tell stories and they'll tell me, "I remember when you lived in that little condo in PB in that one studio." So, I think it's really cool. What was your question again?
Doesn't matter. That was better.
No, that was
You
it.
have your own show. You have a Gina the Latina show
yeah.
on YouTube, right?
Yes. I started, it's an online show and a podcast, the Gina Latina Show, and it is
Awesome.
completely different than Channel 933 because, you know, on radio, we talk for only like, when I first started in radio, you guys know we could talk for like 15 minutes. Now it's like 3 minutes in, out, you know, whatever. So on the
couldn't do that.
Yeah, on the podcast, I get to talk. It's completely different. It's all about like healing and different modalities and just. I always say that every episode is not for everyone, but every episode is for somebody. So we go like all the stuff that I've ever tried because I got into.
Listen
this
to
whole
you,
spiritual
Martha
thing,
Stewart.
like
My
Reiki,
And
energy healing, things like that. Completely different.
And all three of you guys get calls to MC events and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. True story about Gina.
Oh, no.
So for about, hold on. So for about 7 years, I emceed this event. I forget who it was, but they do great things.
It was the Kalina Men's League
Oh, fine.
softball team.
And so I called them back when it was time to MC, and I go, hey, you know, I'm ready. And they, oh, we got Gina the Latina.
Oh my God!
But-
No, I had no clue. I'm sorry.
But it was,
I didn't know.
It was fine. I know.
You can have it back. I'm
But you know the
sure.
difference. You know the difference.
No, but it was cool.
What
I
is
was
it for? Now I'm sorry.
But
work with a lot of homeless.
Well, next time you should have just said, "Hey, I'm friends with Gina. We can do it together."
No, it's good. It's good. I was proud of you.
Because you know,
And
it
that's
doesn't bother
why
me at all,
she's
does it?
still doing what she's doing because that's really who
Hey,
she
Gina,
is.
one more day, he would have been over it. But he had to bring it up today.
Well, let's come together.
Good job on the audience. Come on. So, I was just saying to Mary, good job on the audience. Because you do all the
I
audience.
work hard on it.
Does anybody in the blacklist? Is like anybody even barred?
Yes.
From me and Tommy's old dating life,
No, I know. No one's been barred.
Wait, anyway, didn't somebody get boozy here one time? And not us? And not Russ?
Maybe somebody showed up a little inebriated.
And are you
not invited back.
Just a little.
May or may not have been
And you
invited
were
back.
on that Like
Yes, on the headsets. We had all the crew ready to.
well, you walk around like FBI, like,
I want a headset. I wish I had one. They're so fun.
Maybe the PD gets to get you a badge. Speaking of that, how do people get in here? This show would not be, when we have like 10 people, we usually just go home. So
No.
it's so good.
No matter what. But when it's big like this, it's very fun, yes. They email us at audience@loft100studios.com.
All of us in little rooms for the last 30 years would have been different if you had this. Because you have to trust that the wires actually go somewhere. Me and Russ always said, that's not really going anywhere. We're just doing this for ourselves. But it's kind of different when doing it live, huh?
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing.
Right.
Guys,
And what do
thank
you guys
for
think?
I love
Having a
it.
live
No,
audience.
This
It's fun, right?
show is amazing. I'd rather do my show here.
Well,
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, wait, I do have a question for you. So you're the very first Filipina as a main anchor in San Diego.
Yep.
Do you feel like you have a responsibility because of that?
You know, it's funny because they'll, you know, in this community, they look at me and it's just like being, you know, Chamorro. It's just like being, you know, Latina. It's just like being that. They look at you with pride. And so they're always watching. They're always watching everything you're doing. They're always watching, you know, how you lift them up. That for them is, they're like, look, she made it. So knowing that, you know, there are kids out there who are Filipinos and think, you know, goodness, you know, like I see myself up there.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, I didn't have anybody who looked like me. In fact, you know, most of them were behind the scenes. Most of them were producers. And when I first came onto the scene, I was like, it sounds terrible, but they called me like the Oriental girl, the little Oriental girl. And they called me Sweetie. And they called me all
hey,
these
sugar,
things.
I mean, that's another thing.
Yeah, wow.
Those are the days of the 5 martini lunches.
That's right. And the smoking in the newsroom.
Those were the days.
And actually, when I started in radio, I would do a news update every hour, early mornings, and I did it on reel to reel. So I was splicing it.
Yeah.
I even remember one of my early days, I sliced myself and was bleeding during my
We're sorry. Did you get help?
During my update, I was bleeding everywhere, and I did the update. I still did the update. And
Our version, that's carts, right?
Yeah.
They look like old 8-track tape.
And reel to reel,
you tried reel to reel, everything.
Redhead.
The worst thing I ever had to do was re-rack CDs in an FM station.
Oh, yeah.
I did FM on 103.7 The Planet. I lasted about 6 minutes. And because talk radio, they pull my string. I'm not going to go out of the break. I'm still talking here. You guys had 3-minute sweepers and rejoin. I wouldn't know how to. Like,
It's actually a lot harder to tell a story that's compelling, that people want to listen to, and get it all in within 3 minutes than having 15 minutes to
I
explain.
mean, being able to
something.
yammer.
But we,
for-
we do
No, I mean,
stories and
what-
news, though. We
yeah.
do stories and news for 1:15. Like our reporters do 1:15.
And to get like everything in
Yep.
and do all that, it's harder than people think.
Do you know what the hardest thing was when we got on TV? When Big Biz Show got on TV? Somebody had the genius idea of putting a teleprompter up. Now, the old days of radio, you had board shorts, a burrito, and a newspaper. Nobody saw you, right?
Yes.
And then cameras came in. Did you realize that you have to prep? Because I didn't know what I was talking about. Biz was like right here. I'd be looking down at the microphone. You have to look up and sort of know already. And you had a whole hour newscast.
You have to know each and every story. You don't necessarily have to know, you know, what's coming or when it's coming. But the thing is, news changes all the time. So I have 3 people talking in my ear every day, and they tell me, hey, you know, there's breaking news right now. Oh, take a look at these live pictures. You know, this is changing. We just found out that this information changed. So we have to do that while we're on.
And that's more important now
Despite-
because your audience is getting.
So do you need that teleprompter, or can you just do it?
I mean, we did it without it for years. You know, like there were times, but it's always there to keep you on track. You kind of know where you are, but you know those stories
isn't
already.
this group though the argument for live and local, which has gone away?
absolutely. No.
I mean, live and local is the only thing keeping terrestrial radio and television live.
Yes.
Because everything else is sort of homogenized first and then played out over the speakers. That's a brilliant business model.
Well, that's what makes us different, right? That's what is going to keep us alive. But I will say this, AI is coming. I'm not trying to be negative.
No, it's here.
So how will that
It's
affect what you
but
do?
I mean, AI is coming to replace voices. So you already
With your
hear-
voice.
With my voice, yeah. Well, let's hope that's.
They
the
couldn't
case, but-
replace your voice.
Yes, they
SDCCU would go out of
Yeah.
business.
But yes, they can. So you're already hearing commercials on the air. I won't say who or where, but you're hearing AI on the air right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody feel more relaxed when Delena's talking? It's like, I just feel.
But it's reality. That's the truth.
We have an AI
Yep.
DJ. It's not our
Al.
company.
His name's Al.
I thought it was Jesse. Sorry.
No, it's AI. Her name is Ashley, and she's
Really?
in Portland. And yeah, so it is possible now, and it's scary actually. But
Well, okay.
Well, the
AI is a
Beatles. What
tool.
about the Beatles? They just won a Grammy
Yes,
with an
they
AI
did.
record.
They did.
So we were all there when there was 100 people in the newsroom. The place was full in your newsroom. There was 6 cameras. Everybody's operating. And now there's about 3 people. And when that happened, we thought those people, what are we going to do? I think we're at the turning point again right now.
Yeah.
Where the last 6 people are going to go, including the on-air people, because AI is going to make it cheaper for corporations to report it, and they can change on the fly. I think that's what
You're missing the personality. I mean, look at the personality you ladies all have, and you're missing the nuance.
Well, I think
The
that
reason I'm
I think
bringing
the
this
local
up,
program
Mary,
directors, but corporate doesn't know that.
I have to be honest.
Yeah.
AI does have personality. It can. And I'm not trying to be
It's what?
fatalistic or whatever, but it.
Well, that's what makes it
can
remarkable,
have
right?
Personality. That's what is. We need to realize, like, we need some type of laws in place to control what that's going to become.
I thought you said you need some kind of retirement. Like,
I was thinking about that too. I just want to retire before that.
start saving up.
It's an important issue that we really need to get addressed.
If you guys went back, you two, to the first day, I remember the first day I did radio, I literally had a newspaper and there was one computer screen. It was a TRS-80 from Radio Shack and it wasn't on. If you went back today to the first weeks of radio, could you do the same quality show or was it just so much better now?
Back then or now?
If you went back to do your today's show back then with all you had back then was a microphone.
I was really good old school.
I feel
I know
like
you- well,
I feel like it was
This
better.
machine, It's 30
I
years
feel
old.
like back in the day it was better radio.
better radio.
I had
think
a-
so too.
yeah.
all I needed
didn't
was
have
a-
to worry about everything.
All I needed was a telephone. A telephone.
Squawk
And, it was a different time. On the air, live studio. We have a really special
Yes.
old school guest coming up.
Yes.
Hope you're hungry. Stand by. It's so much better than audio. Are you seeing something here?
Great.
No. Are you seeing something here?
Yeah.
Our best shows. So we should learn. Come on. I go back to musical theater. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the band Sullivan on stage there, you man. Or is it the On the Air band? Speaking of which, since we're big time now, we got some big time. You know how I found out we were playing at one of the biggest shows? You texted me, and I thought, what's that? And apparently it's one of the coolest shows in Southern California.
What is it?
Life?
Beach Life.
Beach Life Festival.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so great.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz is headlining Friday night.
So that means I'm opening for him.
Yeah, basically you are.
3 days prior,
Basically.
I
in a
saw you
bar
on the
5
lineup.
miles away.
I saw you on the lineup.
No,
and
you're
I was
on
like,
the same night as Lenny Kravitz, right before.
Is that before Fiesta del Sol?
It is. It's the first weekend in May.
Fiesta del Sol. Have you guys been to Solana Beach?
It's so
Yes,
fun.
it's great.
It's
That is a license to be stupid all weekend. We should have more 3-day concerts here, like the Caboose of the past. I know they've got.
Who's coming back? I heard. Did you guys hear that?
I heard that too.
It would be nice.
I think San Diego, although there's lots of stuff to do, when we have stuff like that, have you ever seen the Coronado Summer Concert Series on a Sunday?
Yep.
Yeah.
So fun.
There's 5,000 people there.
Packed.
And I don't know what they're doing Monday morning because I know what they're doing on Sunday afternoon at the park.
No one works in San Diego. That's what I say.
That's what I say too.
So, anyways, it'd be great to.
We also have one in Louisville, Kentucky that was just announced.
Yeah, it's called the Bourbon and
Bourbon and Beyond. Bourbon and
It
Beyond.
would just be me and James.
So who
but-
wants to road trip to Kentucky?
Hey, you know what? Since I grew up being a radio producer, I wanted to give props to Angie that works with Gina Latina. You should end the show over here. Stand, come over here by Gina.
Give the mic. Give the mic.
Just hang out.
we stole her from Chicago, from a radio station in Chicago. I met her at like a morning show boot camp, or I don't even remember, but we stole her, and she is fabulous. She does
doesn't
everything.
Gina,
for
what
us.
doesn't Gina want us to know? Because you know where the bodies are. Anybody will tell you the producer?
Our producers, her and our producer Chris, I always say it's like I couldn't be as good as I am without them.
I agree. Producers are.
Yeah.
When I was doing 3 to 6, the best radio is me and Mary arguing from 12 to 3. What were you doing 3 to 6?
Mary's also my wife, by the way.
Oh, Mary.
I'm not
So when I was doing 6 to 9, I get calls from, but you guys get in lockstep. You can finish these other sentences, and you know.
Yeah.
I love it when you're on the air and she'll walk in and say,
she's like my little sister, and I just, producers don't get enough credit because they're always behind the scenes.
And maybe Chris and Angie will one day be in the Radio Hall of Fame. I don't know how that.
Yeah. Help
well,
them
you
out,
bought
Tommy.
the trophy. They can buy one too.
Tommy, help them out. How do you do that?
You're only as good as your producer, honestly.
Keep doing what you're doing.
So, considering we're all old timers here, do you remember when Chris?
Take it easy.
Let me bring you back to a gentler time. The year was 1992. And a very chubby Bobby Sullivan, ignoring the jeers of the other radio personalities, invited his friend Chris Kramer into the studio because Sully liked to drink beer on the air, and they had Red Charlie Ale. And remember the name of the company?
Carl Strauss.
Carl Strauss. And guess who's here today?
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chad Heath from Carl Strauss Brewing.
We're going back old school with Carl Strauss.
Yeah.
And happy anniversary.
Thank you. 36th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big day on
You
Sunday.
guys were here at the birth of the whole microbrewing.
They were.
Right? You were the first ones.
We were the first brewery since Prohibition.
Wasn't Carl Chris's grandfather?
Uncle.
Uncle, and he was the brewmaster of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's right.
Really?
PBR.
Yep. And that's what he did. He came over to Carl Strauss and he showed us how to make really good quality beers that people had never had before. Right? They were just used to the, let's just call it yellow beer that's out there, and they said, hey, try this. This is going to be something
Well, it all ends up
different.
as yellow beer.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so yeah, we started it in 1989 in downtown San Diego, and we just bought that building, just remodeled it, and
It's interesting. So back when we were kids, it was the fishing industry that was second to the military. And after the fishing industry, it was the aerospace industry. And it brought about the equivalent to a Super Bowl in San Diego every year. Guess what the second biggest market driver in San Diego is? Beyond tourism, it's craft beer.
Is it?
It's a huge employer.
Yeah.
It's a huge economic,
For
a
San
huge
Diego.
tax base. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got up to 187 at one time, but
Yeah.
the magic number is about 80 to 100, right?
And there's about 150 right now, the last time we looked. But yeah, the magic number is about 80 to 100.
There's 151. Me and Tom got a moonshine thing going.
How many restaurants do you guys have now around town?
We have 9 in Southern California.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was the
Right down
original.
street from us here.
Yeah, right down the street.
I'm like a little kid. It was the original pub food. Remember?
Food is so good.
It is.
I mean, it is. Yeah.
It's also heart attack on a plate, but no.
We have salads.
You got.
We have salads.
But who's in, like you guys have the best. Like if you want some comfort food and act like you're eating, because you can't get a salad. Who's going to buy a salad at Carl Strauss? I'm not.
Yeah.
You guys
They sell pretty well.
How did that happen? Because you were a beer place. Did you guys have a chef?
Wait, hold on. Siri, what's a salad?
Goes well with beer. We call it elevated pub food, right? So we wanted to get people to come in, bring their families, enjoy a night out or an afternoon or whatever, and stay longer, drink amazing beer, have good food, have a great place to go socialize with friends and family, and that's just what we built our business off of.
You hear the word communal all the time in some of the pubs. You guys started communal.
Yeah.
Which, the big long tables. You mean they're going to sit with us?
Right.
Here's the picture.
Exactly.
And that caught on.
Yeah.
And it started. It's kind of a San Diego thing still.
It's very much a San Diego thing, right? I mean, that's what San Diego's all about. It should be a chill environment. Come in, have some fun, get some great food, enjoy a view of the ocean.
So showing up on time to work is a recommendation.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have coming up in terms of change there? Do you have plenty of buildings now, plenty of beer, plenty of employees? Because you guys are growing every year for a while.
We are, yeah, we're growing every year. The pandemic did some weird stuff to the whole industry, but we're getting out of that, going really in a good place now. So we've got a lot of fun things coming up. We change our menu all the time. We do pairings. We've got a big summer campaign we're going to get ready to kick off here coming
I thought
up.
you said summer camp. Hey, kids.
I know, that's what I thought.
That'd be the best camp ever.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, right.
Is there any place better than a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock listening to Delina and being at Carl Strauss on the patio in Sereno Valley because you don't want to drive through traffic? So I'm going to have a couple of pops on the way home. It's a fantastic environment.
Well,
and congratulations to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Did I understand you brought snacks?
We did. We brought snacks for everyone.
Also, I know you want to keep this, but I think we're giving it away to a special someone.
My name's on the building.
I know, but
But Carl's name's on the growlers.
No, we're giving it away to one of our employees.
Today's Christian's last day. And Christian Cyber, our sound guy, you're dead to me.
Christian.
We're giving this
Can't
growler
believe
to
he's
him.
quitting.
Where is it?
Where's Christian? Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You know, you raise them and they walk out the door. On the air, Thanks for coming. See you next week.